Welcome to Side Hustle Rules. My name is Lou Reyes. In this video, I'm going to tell you about 7 get your hands dirty side hustles that no one is talking about in 2024. Now, these aren't your typical side hustles, side hustles where you're sitting behind a desk. No, with these side hustles, you may get your hands a little dirty. But I'm going to tell you, you will enjoy counting the money. Yeah, each one of these side hustles can earn you upwards of $500 or more per day. And these side hustles, yeah, you haven't heard a lot about them, but they are among the easiest to start. And with these side hustles, I believe just about every one of the 7 you could turn it into a profitable full-time business. So after this break, I'm going to tell you about 7 get your hands dirty side hustles. Come on! Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. We're so glad you could attend. Come inside, come inside. Indulge me, please. Those are some lyrics that I heard from a song, and I've always wanted to use those lyrics when I introduced a video. Matter of fact, if you are someone who knows those lyrics, be the first one. Send me the name of the artist, send me the name of the song, and I'll send you a $10 Starbucks gift card. So listen, as promised, I'm going to tell you about 7 get your hands dirty side hustles that no one's talking about in 2024. Now, each one of these side hustles can earn you upwards of $500 or more per day. And one of the 7 side hustles I'm going to be telling you about, well, it's earned its owner. The person who's doing this side hustle, it's earned them over $295,000. I'll be telling you about that in my list. Now, one bit of advice that I do want to offer you before we get rolling is if one of these side hustles excites you, if it turns you on, if you decide you want to grow it into a full-time business, well, check out my Side Hustle Starter Kit, my video edition. In my video, I walk you through the 8 steps that virtually every entrepreneur must take before they launch a business. Now, there's a link to my Side Hustle Starter Kit video edition. There's a link in the description box. So now let's dive into our video. Power washing side hustle. Now, this is a side hustle that I did way back when I wanted to make some extra cash when I first got married. I ran this side hustle with a buddy of mine, and we did it on Saturday mornings, and we did it just by renting a gas-powered pressure washing machine. And usually what I was doing on a Saturday morning is I was washing decks, patios, aluminum siding. We did some campers, if I remember right, a couple boats, driveways and sidewalks. Those are always what people want. But pretty much you can do anything that requires a deep cleaning outside. Now, if you want to, if you say, hey, I'm going to get into commercial pressure washing, well, your service could extend to do parking lots. Maybe you do some inside of warehouses, some storefronts. I've seen a lot of that in our neighborhood. Now, earnings in the pressure washing business, it varies wildly. I'm going to tell you that. It's going to vary on factors like location, competition maybe in the area. It's also going to depend on the range of services that you offer. Now, small part-time operators, I'm thinking they could generate about $20,000 to $30,000 annually, provided they really get work every single weekend, or maybe you're even doing it a couple days during the week. Now, if you decide you want to make it a full-time business, well, I think you can make a lot more money than that. Now, I'm going to recommend something, though. I'm going to recommend that you specialize in high-demand services. I'm also going to recommend that you target affluent neighborhoods. That's what I did. And what you also want to do now, what you could do is just establish an online presence. You could use Facebook or Twitter for that. Let your friends know that you've got this service. And if you've got a specific question about this particular business or really any other business that's on my list today, I am happy to answer any of your questions during my weekly live stream. I do a live stream for my Patreon members. So if you hop on Patreon, you become a member. It's very inexpensive. What I'll do is I'll answer your questions about it. There's a link to my Patreon page in the description box. Office cleaning side hustle. This can be a very lucrative opportunity that's going to provide you with a steady income stream. And really, that's the name of the game. And anytime you're doing a business, you want that steady income stream. But what this also offers is scheduling flexibility and really the potential for scalability. If you're somebody who's aggressive, you want to make a lot of money, you get a few customers, you get steady clients, and you're on your way to making some real bucks. Now, if you do run run, if you decide you're going to run, you're going to scale up, you're going to run a couple crews, 2-3 crews, you don't want to do the work, you're going to be managing, this could be an ideal business for you if you run a couple crews. Now, startup costs, as you could guess, are minimal. So this is an accessible venture, I think, for just about anybody out there. Now, earnings in the office cleaning business, it's going to vary, I should say, based on some factors like location, your clientele, and also the services that you offer. Now, on average, my thinking is, from what I've seen anyway, small operators are going to earn about $20,000 to $40,000 annually. Larger businesses, larger enterprises, you know what? You could surpass a 6-figure income, especially if you scale it up. Window cleaning side hustle. Now, I first became aware of this as a business when I bought my new house. I pulled up in the driveway, and there's my neighbor, my 80-some-year-old neighbor, up on a ladder cleaning windows. And I was like, "What are you doing?" He says, "I'm cleaning windows. What does it look like?" Well, you know what? We ended up talking. He told me, hey, I retired from the window cleaning business. And he was telling me how he had all these commercial clients. I think he said he had a few residential, but he really specialized in businesses. But a window cleaning business, it just offers a blend of what I think is financial stability and really low startup costs, which means essentially window cleaning is a business that is accessible for just about anybody out there, anybody watching this video. Now, the demand for clean windows, you got to know, it's constant. So this gig is going to provide a reliable, steady income. Now, earnings in a window cleaning business, I know it's going to vary. And it's going to vary on or based on factors like whether or not you're focused on business window cleaning or residential. And things like location, your clientele, and the services that you provide, those are also going to impact your sales. Now, small scale operators, I'm thinking they're going to make about $30,000 to $50,000 annually. The gentleman I just spoke about, I know he was making in excess of that, but he had a crew. They were going out doing the windows. He retired. He just kept a couple clients for himself. But larger enterprises, though, with a commercial or many commercial contracts, I'm sure you can exceed 6 figures. Now, if you're interested in this side hustle, my suggestion is Google search some companies in your area. You know, most of them are going to have their prices listed, so it's going to give you an idea of what's being charged in your area. It's going to give you a benchmark. But I also check out some YouTube channels that specialize in the window cleaning business. There are plenty out there. All you've got to do is type in window cleaning and some will pop up. Mobile car detailing side hustle. You know, the world of car detailing, you've probably seen some videos on YouTube if you're watching this channel, but this world of car detailing, it really is a business opportunity with a lot of growth potential. It's got a lot of growth potential because virtually every car that you see, every pickup truck, van, minivan, and even a motorcycle or two could be a potential customer. And this is another one of those businesses with low startup costs, which makes it available to just anybody out there, anybody watching this video. Now, I looked into what car detailing pays, and according to detail.com, the average price of a complete detail, which would include an exterior machine polishing, an interior detailing service, would be about $350 to $450. That's what you charge. Now, if you started doing this part-time, say you just do it on the weekends, you're detailing 2 cars a day, your gross earnings could be between, let's say, $1,000 per weekend up to $4,000 a month, and that's some nice change if you want to get into this as a side hustle. Now, I've got a link to detailking.com in the description box so you can check out what they've got to say about the car detailing business. Stump removal. And I can just hear some of you out there saying, what is stump removal? Well, let me just say this first. This is a business that I learned to love because it combined 2 of my passions. Number 1, working outside, but also making money. You know, one of my neighbors, he did this business on the side for years, and according to him, it was pretty easy to do, and it was very profitable, which doesn't surprise me because he used equipment that was paid for, so he had no cost. Now, a stump removal business is a type of business that just specializes in removing tree stumps, and you remove them from residential and maybe even sometimes commercial properties. So after a tree's cut down, you know, the remaining stump, well, it can be an eyesore, and most people are going to agree with that. It can also pose a safety hazard. So stump removal businesses, what they do, they have specialized equipment that basically just grinds down or grinds up a stump. And this just makes the whole thing easier to remove. Now, according to IBIS World, this is a $21 billion industry that has experienced, as they say, 6.7% annual growth over the past 5 years. Now, if you really want to learn about this business and how it works, well, check out a YouTube channel called Chris's Stump Grinding. Now, this channel has over 593,000 views, and Chris says when he started out, he bought $7,000 worth of used equipment, and in 5 years, he says that he used that equipment to make over $295,000, and I think that breaks down to about $60,000 per year on average, and I'd say this is a return on an investment that I think even Warren Buffett can't match.
What you talking about?
But Chris says this. He says, stump grinding business, it helped him pay off his house, helped him stay debt-free, helped him and still helps him to feed his family. And he says he got to invest money as the business went on. I'm going to put a link to Chris's channel in the description box. Parking lot cleaning service. Now, this is a side hustle that can be a very good business idea for several reasons. First, it's a low-cost business. Another one of those low-cost businesses that I just love because you're keeping your expenses low and most of the money you make is profit. So it's easy to start and it's really easy to operate. The only thing you need is a few basic tools, just like maybe a broom, of course, a dustpan, some trash bags. Just need those few items to get started. Now, the second reason I like it, because it's really recession-proof, regardless of the economic climate. Parking lots will always need to be cleaned. Third, this is a lucrative business, I mentioned, because you really don't have a lot of costs. Now, according to Side Hustle Nation, that's a podcast, a parking lot cleaning business can generate, according to them, a six-figure income. And one of the podcast guests, I was listening to it, he started his side hustle with a goal, he says, of earning just $1,000 a month. And he says 4 summers later, his side hustle, it's now a six-figure business. And I'm going to put a link out. I'll just go ahead and put a link to the podcast in the description box so you can check it out. Painting house numbers on curbs. And this is a business I never would have thought about it until one day I get a knock on my door. It's a college kid standing there, and he's looking at me. He's got a can of spray paint in his hand. He's got something else, and it turned out to be stencils. And he says to me, he goes, "Hey, I can paint your address on your curb." And he says it's going to be $25. And I looked at him and I thought, boy, you've got some chutzpah, just knocking on doors and asking to paint addresses on curbs. I looked at him. I said, yeah, go ahead and do it. I thought, why not? It's going to save me the trouble. Painting house numbers on curbs is a low-cost, high-demand side hustle. It's got a lot of advantages. First, any house in any neighborhood is a potential customer. Second, all you need is a can of spray paint and some stencils. You're in business. Third, though, I'll say, it's a straightforward process. It's a side hustle that is accessible for just about any entrepreneur at any skill level. But another reason I like it is it's a flexible schedule. Here you are, your business basically could be in a lunchbox for all you know. It could be in the front seat of your car. You knock on a door. So there's a lot of flexibility. You can do it part-time. If you decided you wanted to spend maybe a whole day doing it, you could do that too. Now, what I learned is this. Earnings in the business I'll call painting house numbers on curbs, it's going to depend on some key factors such as your location, the demand, and also on your own marketing efforts, which basically is knocking on some doors. I said the word chutzpah, and that's exactly what I mean. You've got to have some confidence if you're walking door to door. I've done a lot of it in my career in sales, so I know what it's like, but I also know it's how you can make some real good money. Now, he charged me $25. I know you could charge anywhere from $25, maybe $35 or more. I've seen people charge as much as $50 per house. Of course, that's going to depend on the neighborhood. Now, you can make a lot more money, though, from what I know, is if you decide to scale it up, you hire some people to do the work for you. You really build that business out over a few neighborhoods. It's a good business to start if you got some chutzpah. Well, there you go, my friends. I've just told you about 7 get your hands dirty side hustles that no one's talking about. in 2024. And now, obviously, we're talking about it now that you've heard it. Now you can make a decision. Hey, is this something that you want to do? If it's something that you decide you want to do, my recommendation is always going to be start part-time, go into it, see how you like it, see if it's for you. If you decide you like it, well, then you know what? You can turn it into that full-time business I mentioned before. I've got my Side Hustle Starter Kit, the video edition. Check that out. That'll help you to get your business off the ground. Also, I do want to mention something I think it's kind of important. Whenever you're doing a business, you're going to create a plan. But that plan you create is a plan to learn. And remember that, please. Plan to learn. Any business that you're going to start, it's going to take time. It's going to take some investment of your energy. But you know what? It could pay off in a big, big way. So that's all I got for you. If you got any questions, send them to me in the comment section. Send me an email. You can join me on Patreon. Well, as I always say, have a great day, everybody.